future's here, no need to guess. Lev.AI, leading the best.
Karma's a bitch.
Queen of Karma.
Why, hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? Welcome back to another MLM Monday, the day where you watch all of your favorite anti-multi-level marketing creators, which is why I hope you're here today. On my MLM Monday celebrations, we don't just sip the tea, we serve it boiling. And for 3 years, I've been exposing the OnPassive cult and its tangled web of deception. And that journey recently cracked open a vault of other so-called business opportunities that turned out to be nothing more than recycled MLM nonsense. I'm talking Nelo Life, I'm talking Top Fusion, Vibe, each one promising innovation, each one delivering the same tired playbook. And we are so used to seeing that over here, aren't we? And with those schemes came some usual suspects, like Eric Allen, the hype man who never met a pitch he didn't love, Megan and Regan Lynch, twin masters of the motivational fluff, and of course, Randy Schroeder, still reporting live from his basement with the same script and a fresh suit. But today's feature is Lev.AI. And it's not just another scheme, it's the crossover event of the MLM universe. All familiar faces, all the same recycled tactics, but now dressed up in more AI buzzwords and digital glitter than maybe even OnPassive had. So buckle up because we're about to dissect Lev.AI. We're going to be calling out all of the characters and show you exactly how this latest opportunity is just more of the same, especially the same that we're used to over here. Only it might be louder, shinier, and somehow even more desperate. I don't know how, but it managed to pull it off. Yes, it did. First, I'm going to say hello to everybody. Hello, Joe. Good to see you. I'm glad that you could make it. Chris Johnson. Queen, I'm sure you know, but this Larry Lane guy, wow, what a scammer, isn't he? Aren't they all? On Fusion T, Chris Johnson. So many Chris Johnsons here. Oh, that's me. I don't want to say hello to myself. I meant to hit that one. Is this the big thing now? Al-assisted marketing packages. And no one will want them, I would think. I mean, for a legit business, right? It's always just for the other MLM huns, isn't it? And Nev is here. Good to see you. And Sam made it. Little Miss Lulu. Happy MLM Monday. OnPassive will always have my cold black heart, right? And Albs is in it to scam it. In it to scam it as usual. Yes, well, you see, I mean, we aren't really not doing OnPassive today, right? AI will be the future. I believe Jelly Snack. I mean, this is still technically connected to OnPassive. And I'm sure that you're like, Queen, what the heck are you talking about? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Thank you so much for asking. That really helps with my segue. Let me introduce you to Lev.AI, the future in your hands. Accessible AI. How amazing, isn't it? I mean, the first time we have ever heard of that before. Just wow, can't believe it. Can't believe it. Lev.AI is being marketed as an AI-powered business platform with a network marketing model. Recently, two high-profile OnPassive promoters, Marty DeGarmo and Robin Noble, The Voice, announced that they've joined the venture, bringing their audiences with them. Lev.AI combines artificial intelligence tools with a network marketing compensation model. The opportunity is promoted via online presentations and live streams targeting MLM distributors and AI opportunity seekers. This is from one of their first website ads ever. It says, "Here's a taste of what has people fired up. Your own AI twin." They're all about the twins here. Present, train, and answer questions in 150 plus languages while you sleep. 25 to 100 qualified leads per month, targeted and delivered. Websites and landing pages built in under 10 minutes, ready to launch instantly. AI-powered social growth. Attract real, engaged followers daily. All-in-one CRM with guided prompts so you always know who to contact, when, and what to say. You don't have to think at all. Replaces $800+ in subscriptions in one affordable membership. I just got my second AI certificate, and I can guarantee OnPassive has nothing to do with AI. Or whatever the company is called now. That's right. But what about Lev.AI? Maybe it's going to take over the AI world. I don't know. Serena's skeptical, though. We haven't convinced yet. It's funny that they mentioned twins, however, because Lev.AI has two very familiar faces to us besides Marty's and Robin's faces. The company has been heavily promoted by Nelo Life's Randy Schroeder and Larry Lane. Remember, he was the L in Nelo. Is Larry the twin AI? Larry has twins. There's a lot of twins in the MLM world right now. From their Facebook page, the AI Toolbox by Lev.AI. Makes sense, right? Leverage AI. Build smarter. Again with the virtual twin. Guided CRM, 3-minute websites. AI training, on-demand translation to 150 languages. He beat you, Ash Mufara. 100% unique to you. Also, from their Facebook, this is how they describe themselves. Lev.AI is an all-in-one AI-powered business platform designed for entrepreneurs, small businesses, and gig workers to grow faster, smarter, and with less effort. It blends cutting-edge AI tools, that's what it says, with practical, human-centered business support, replacing $300 to $800 per month in disconnected software with one integrated, affordable system. They have a core mission, because don't all the MLMs? Empower entrepreneurs, the foundation of tomorrow's economy, to launch, market, and grow professional-grade businesses without tech overwhelm, expensive agencies, or marketing burnout. You don't want to get marketing burnout. They never talk about MLM unburnout, though. And of course, you cannot forget the earning opportunity. 50% first month payout, 30% acquisition bonus plus 20% first month commission, 20% ongoing monthly commissions for direct compression, check match bonuses for mentoring team members, trips and performance incentives. I mean, sign me up. Sign me up right now. Hello, Violet. Good to see you. I mean, that's all I have to read, though, is just the earning opportunity. And I'm like, yeah, boom, baby. Trying to find information about who runs Lev.AI proved to be difficult since no known owner listed on the website. Upon looking into their privacy policy, I found a familiar address listed. And if you have been covering MLMs for even a year, you recognize this address, guaranteed. 901 Sam Rayburn Highway, Melissa, Texas, 75454. Do we get a free hat? Maybe. Maybe. That's almost your money back. Almost. Almost. So, as you can see, Lev.AI Inc. is allegedly at this address. And for those of you that maybe don't know, you're probably like, well, what address is this? I recognize the address from the Prove It lawsuits, and you're going to notice that it lists Jennifer Grace and Terry LaCour. As it turns out, the actual owner of Lev.AI, the agency that is actually the ones running the websites and the business LLC and everything for the owner, is actually none other than Terry LaCour, our favorite MLM scammer besides Eric Warren. There it is, 901 Sam Rayburn. This is LaCour Enterprises leadership webpage. And it says Terry LaCour, he is, of course, the CEO and founder. Terry LaCour, president of LaCour Enterprises, is a leading entrepreneur in the world of sales and distribution with companies around the globe. He rose to the top early on and has leveraged his expertise in the startup of several successful companies, such as BeHip, Prove It, GNO, and more. His global experience is sought out for logistics management strategy, and he's always looking for new ideas and products that make a positive impact economically and socially. Now, the registered agent for Lev.AI is actually Jennifer Grace's company. And she's also connected to LaCour Enterprises. Again, this is their website. They're like, this is our team. And as you can see, she's the president and chief general counsel. Teaming up with Terry in 2008 and then joining full-time in 2010, Jennifer Grace leads legal and operational aspects at LaCour. She enjoys learning both the new aspects of each business as well as each area of the law involved with its operation and protection. How sweet of her, huh? How sweet. Protective of both the LaCour team and operations, Jennifer's conservative nature is a perfect fit. Might be. Meta and other big AI companies are paying millions to bring in real talent. No chance some MLM AI from Randy Schroeder is competing with legit AI products, right? Right? Joe said, I'd hire some Canadians. He could hire a room full of people in another country. Oh, that's already been done. See, the thing is where is this business located then if it's listing the agents in LaCour Enterprises? Does it have a location? Is there a tech team? So many questions, you know? When you come across this, you're like, oh, Lord, here we go. Larry Lane, co-CEO of LaCour, owned VIP Global Stars and has been linked to Lev.AI's promotional activities, placing a LaCour insider in the field leadership. VGS, VIP Global Stars, was shut down in 2022. According to theheck.com, Larry Lane was at a recent Zoom meeting for Lev.AI, and a list of all Zoom participants listed his name as an attendee. So here it is right here. Larry Lane accused of dumping 1,500 fake affiliate accounts into the VidMe scam. According to Behind MLM, Larry Lane has a reputation for not accepting criticism well and for being in several MLM schemes. Larry Lane was B-Epic's master distributor. After Behind MLM published our updated 2018 review, Lane attempted to spam our comments with a referral link. Before that, Lane was tied to Ripon. Circa 2020, Lane was in I'm going to say this wrong, but I think it's Caprarese's One World Network and promoting total life changes. And it's interesting that they bring up Ripon. Unique to you, but duplicating you, right? An old website we dug up for Lev.AI finally confirmed our suspicions, and that means this CEO might be a worse one than Ash Mufara. So they have it listed as Terry LaCour being the CEO and visionary founder with decades of proven billion-dollar success. Then they have Randy Schroeder, and they say he's a legendary networker, strategist, and mentor, which that's kind of funny if you know him, right? You're probably like, I want a better mentor, but whatever. Putting his stamp of approval on this launch. And then Blake Schroeder, a global corporate leader with a history of guiding disruptive companies to scale worldwide. And these are who they listed as being the owners and top operators of Lev.AI. According to Behind MLM, who has been tracking Terry LaCour for years, Behind MLM first came across Terry LaCour back in 2013 as part of our coverage on Ripon. These days, LaCour Enterprises are more open and about being behind the MLM companies they launch. Back in 2013, LaCour was much more secretive. Even in 2013, LaCour on the right had been in the MLM industry for a number of years. In the 1990s, LaCour rose to the top distributor for strategic telecom systems. LaCour secured his first MLM executive role as CEO of NetVision and City Direct. After that, LaCour was appointed first vice president and then CEO of CARE, spelled with Kaire. Towards the late 90s, LaCour eventually wound up at a Natural Health Trends Corp. LaCour's time at Natural Health Trends Corp came to an end in 2005. 3 years later, the SEC filed a related civil enforcement action. And it just goes on and on and on, the number of MLMs that he's been a part of. Right now, however, the company's president and CEO is listed publicly as Blake Schroeder. So, who is Blake? And is he related to Randy? I don't trust global leaders, only global ones. That's right. That's right. In 2016, industry reports noted that Blake and Randy often appeared as a kind of professional duo, sometimes in complementary management and distributor roles within the same organizations. One such report from a direct selling trade source suggested that Randy Schroeder is in fact Blake Schroeder's father, and that Blake's move into Canaway's leadership coincided with Randy becoming involved in the company's sales network. Here is Randy and Blake Schroeder in a picture from MLM Worldwide. This would have been from several years ago. This is an August 12th, 2025 Lev.AI training where you will see Randy and then also Blake doing the training. There was another Lev.AI training that featured only Blake Schroeder on August 17th, 2025, and he also made another appearance the next day on the 18th. And just in case you don't believe me that Blake is now seen as, the top of this thing, this is from Marty DeGarmo's channel. But here he lists him as the CFO, COO, and current president of Lev.AI. So he's the president. Everyone is bald. It's true. Hey, Tagara. Currently president of Lev.AI, it says. There's already group paranoia going on within their WhatsApp. Here is their Lev.AI team WhatsApp. And somebody is saying, we should not be adding anyone to this group unless they have joined already. When people just add everyone in their address book, crap happens. You gotta hate it when crap happens. And then someone responds and says, please, members, never bring in anyone who is not registered in your link. Bring in only members who are already registered in your downline. This is to keep our platform clean, where everyone on this platform are here to learn and move forward together to the next step. And I'm sure you're all dying to find out what the next step is, aren't you? I mean, why wouldn't you be? So there are a lot of people that are joining Lev.AI who left OnPassive due to Marty DeGarmo and Robin Noble joining, sending out emails to Zoom meetings, and promoting this new proprietorship. And unfortunately, we came across Marina Favitt. Marina has joined Lev.AI. Unfortunately, she was seen in the WhatsApp group, and we were very, very saddened by this. This is my face, Randy's face there. See how sad Randy looks? That was my face when I saw Marina Favitt in this group. Frowny face. Just very sad. Also leaked from their WhatsApp group is the Core Success Fundamentals. And this is great. This is their interactive learning platform. And this is based on the teachings from the leadership training, More Happy, More of the Time. And after we go through these, we're going to watch one of their trainings, the most recent one, the one from last night, given to us by Randy, because I know how much you guys love looking up at Randy from his desk. And you're going to understand. You're going to be like, what is going on? You may remember Randy from Nelo Life. You may remember Randy from Talk Fusion. We've been following Randy around, I feel like. Basically, we come across something that people in OnPassive has joined, and then somehow there's Randy. I don't know. That's just what's been happening. So, gotta get very excited for this. This is their first product. Right? So, Core Success Fundamentals Interactive Learning Platform. Based on the teachings from the leadership training, More Happy, More of the Time, this platform helps you understand and assess the core principles for success in life and business. As we go through these, just think, maybe OnPassive should do these, Then they come up with the Success Fundamentals cheat sheet. Question 1. According to the philosophy, what is the first and most critical foundation for success? Correct answer. Identifying and correcting your core drive. Explanation. Your core motivation, your why, determines whether you make appropriate or inappropriate decisions on your success journey, which is a little weird. I don't know how that would control it, but okay. You'd think that dimwit Randy could figure out how to buy a camera stand with all the money that he scammed off people, right? Agreed. Question 2. What is the destructive progression of internal anchors? What is the destructive progression of a culty MLM? Correct answer. Limiting belief, limiting attitude, and limiting behavior. That's all you have to hear. And then your whole life just poof. Magic just fixed. Explanation. Limiting beliefs left unchecked develop into negative attitudes, which then manifest as self-sabotaging behaviors. You know, like wanting to leave the MLM pyramid scheme you've joined because you realize it's more about recruiting than anything to do with products. Randy uses big words, right? Question 3. What is the 2-part strategy for dealing with self-centered fear? And again, in MLMs, the self-centered fear is your red flag screaming at you that something is up and you need to leave this community. But they tell you that it is you holding yourself back. You're fearful of success. And then they get all Freudian on you and they're all like, so what happened in your childhood that made it so that you thought that you didn't deserve success? You know, you should really be excited to work 80 hours a week in an MLM for $1,000 a year pay. I mean, something's obviously wrong with you because you're not just doing that without thinking or complaining or anything. Like, what's holding you back? You know? So, of course, the correct answer, not our correct answer, their correct answer, let me be very clear, is short-term empowering behavior plus daily disciplines. And the daily disciplines are always things like when you first wake up in the morning, watch an MLM personal development video. Then you are going to make 3 business Facebook posts and 2 personal Facebook posts. And then you're going to write 50 people and ask them if they want to buy the crazy wrap thing, okay? Those are your daily disciplines. And every time you're like, I'm tired, maybe I shouldn't be trying to push these products. This seems to not be working. Tell yourself that you're being stupid and to ignore that. Explanation. You need both immediate tactics to act despite fear and long-term practices to eradicate the fear permanently. And all your thoughts, all those critical thinking skills, you got to get rid of that. All right, we don't want any of that around. No. Question 4. What is the purpose of daily disciplines? And I'll answer that for you right now, to indoctrinate you and take away your autonomy, even though you're in your own home and you're not in a compound somewhere. That's why. Correct answer. To build character and create a life of happiness. How profound. Never thought of that. Explanation. Daily disciplines in spiritual, physical, mental, and emotional areas build the character needed for lasting success and happiness. And again, like I said, all of these personal development things, it's a farce, right? They're like, oh, you're working on yourself. It's really great for you. But all of the activities that you do via an MLM are all how to be better in their MLM, how to be a bigger Hunbot for them. It's not actually about empowering you to be better and do better, right? In order to empower you, they would encourage your critical thinking skills and want you to question everything. But my favorite question of all the questions, and I'm sure yours will be too, is question number 5. What is the lifeblood of a growing network marketing organization? And for them, the correct answer is a rapid flow of new member applications. And I know what you're thinking. Well, that sounds like a Ponzi or pyramid scheme, though. And I agree. And it's okay because they also explain it to us. So the explanation: growth is 100% dependent on new enrollments. Without a constant flow of new members, organizations stagnate. In other words, we're just recruiting here. If the recruiting stops, everything does. In other words, yes, it's a pyramid scheme. You know? Hello, sweet. Good to see you. The answer is the leader. And that's why Randy hops from scam to scam. The end, right? That's the thing, is that eventually there is going to be less and less members joining. And then what? But I'm also like, what happened to Nelo Life? Because I went to go check it out. It seemed like not much was happening. So that was interesting. But here you go. Without a constant flow of new members, organizations stagnate. And I'm like, really, only the ones that depend on recruitment do. And those are all the Ponzi's and the pyramids. So I'm okay with that, you know? Whatever. They're doing weird crypto stuff now. Yeah, it was like all weird. And I was like, I don't know what this is. This isn't the Nelo Life I know. What happened? We have to do an update on them as well. So yeah, pretty much they were like, yes, we are doing the pyramid thing, constant recruitment. We depend on recruiting, which again, that's a pyramid scheme. And that is it for the Lev.AI toolbox. Those are all the tools. Now that you know who is running this thing, who it's connected to, even who the agents are, and you have an idea of how we found out about it and how we got here, which is through Marty and Robin, I think it would be great to watch Lev.AI's latest, what did they called it, a business? Hold on. They called it business presentation. Lev.AI business presentation. When Blake comes on, it is called the corporate training webinar. But this one was just a business presentation. Now, if they were all about the AI, this presentation should be all about their AI. We should be hearing about how great the AI is, what the AI does, how they got it to work, maybe. You know, maybe they'll get into the tech behind it. And then we should be talking about all the amazing things that you'll be able to do with it and how it will make your life easier to run your business. And then it would be a quote-unquote legitimate MLM company, which Bob used that term the other day, and I almost murdered him But it is true that there is a difference between an MLM company with products that is actually doing the recruiting and people are building teams and it's actively running, even if we don't want it to. And then one like this, these startups that kind of show up, get a bunch of people to jump in as almost like investors and the top MLM distributors and get all excited. And then they just don't do anything. And they just hang out. Or they shut down and it becomes a rug pull. You know, there's a little bit of a difference between those things. I know there is no legit MLM company. It's all organized crime. That's right. But I think that when he said that, what he meant is like at least Amway and the other MLMs. I forget what other ones he brought up. But I think that he meant like those ones are actively recruiting. They're actively selling products. Even though, you know, they all suck and we don't like them and we don't want them to run. That is happening. Whereas then you have ones like OnPassive that don't even get there. And then they end up just a cult. But it's still somehow sort of a commercial cult. I mean, yeah, it's a cult of personality around Ash, but they still have like this, we're going to do a business thing about them, you know? It's very bizarre. Yes, scam way. Which is probably where all of these people actually originated from. But actually, they go all the way back to, I believe, didn't they do those, what was those companies called? Hold on. I'll think of it.
Okay, so we have started recording. I thank you all very much for
No,
being
I
here.
want to
And
double
given
check.
that we've just started recording, let me tell you what my mission is tonight. I've been asked by people to keep this content that I get so very excited about in a 30-minute window. And I've been asked to talk in slow, measured tones because I realize there are many people who want to hear this.
Yeah, okay, sorry, I had to double check. Yeah, technically, these guys go all the way back to Transact Card and Finmore. Excuse me. And we talked about Transact Card and Finmore, I believe, when we were deep diving Nelo Life. And that is where Randy comes from, as well as Larry Lane. And so I'm assuming Blake probably also did Transact Card and Finmore. It's been reported that wherever one is, the other is. So, I mean, it's kind of like he's going to be in it too then. So, I wouldn't be surprised if Blake was also in Finmore and Transact Card. I just wanted to double check that before I went announcing it to all of you. Nelo Life is still kicking, but it's no longer like what they were doing before. So we'll do an update on that one probably in the next week as well. Just because I'm sure you're all like, well, how did Randy leave that, go to Talk Fusion, and now do this? What are they doing, you know? Is there a way that I can make it so that... Oh, there we go. That's way better. Now I can see Randy. All right, let's get into this. So this was last night. I wanted to bring you guys the newest one.
This information globally for whom English is not a first language. And so I'm going to try to address only those things which must be addressed. I'm going to try to deliver the message in slow, measured tones and still get the importance of it across. My name is Randy Schroeder, and I consider it to be among the most fortunate experiences.
I always say it as Schroeder, but the way he says it is Schroeder. My name is Randy Schroeder.
Certainly of my business career, if not my life, to be able to introduce to you a company called Lev.AI. That stands for Leverage Artificial Intelligence. Before we go further.
Really? I'm shocked. Shocked! Leverage? Wow. Hello, Capone. So he is Randy. Yes, he is. He's even in a pink shirt for us today instead of an oversized suit.
I'd like to reflect on an experience that I had many years ago, I believe in about 1982 or 1983. I had a friend named Andy Kay, and Andy Kay was a developer of one of the early computers. The name of his company was K-Pro. Launched at about the same time as Apple Computer, and launched at about the same time that uh, household computing became not such a unique thing. And I remember that very first interaction and Andy trying to portray his vision to me that the world would become computerized. And I couldn't see it. I didn't have that vision. And the result is that I wound up using the technology, but I didn't become a cause of other people's use. I did not become a conduit to that which I now know was destined. What was destined for computerization to sweep the world.
You will never hear anyone talk like Randy. Randy is like if you gave Ash Mufara some crack. He talks just as much, says just as little, except there are no breaks. There might not even be a breath in between words. I don't know. I swear to God, he takes one deep breath at the beginning and then just goes for it.
Now I know, looking back, that I did not have, nor did you have, a choice of whether to adopt computerization or not. We were compelled by societal norms to adopt computerization or be left behind. A couple of years later, I had the second chance, the second bite of the apple, when at the very first time I heard about the internet. I remember my first 128 kps dial-up modem and hearing the sounds of a fax machine in the back, and then waiting for what seemed like an interminable amount of time for the website to open. I could not have begun to see at that point the future. And the future was that the entire world would become connected on the World Wide Web. And that in fact, I again had no choice to adopt, nor did you. We could not survive in today's society if we completely abandoned the online world. I became a user of the technology and benefited from its use, but I did not become a catalyst in causing that which was destined to occur, that destiny being the globalization of the internet. I did not become a catalyst in causing that which was destined to occur a little more quickly. Today, as you will see and may already know, artificial intelligence is the third such instance in my lifetime. I don't know how old you are, and so I don't know if it's your first, your second, or your third. Unless you're a very, very old person, you weren't there for the first similar change, that being the Industrial Revolution. That's how profound this is. When I welcome you to Lev.AI, I am welcoming you to a legitimate chance to be a precursor to other people's use of a technology that will become a global mandate. And there is literally no end to the possibility of what can occur. Now, over the course of my life, I have been turning my phone on here so that I don't take too much time. Over the course of my career, an aggressive entrepreneurial career, I've come to realize that in order to create the kind of outcome that I want, and the kind of outcome that I'm confident some of you want, that being a complete, total, absolute financial breakthrough. In order to accomplish that, we cannot build upon a foundation created by someone else. We cannot. The true rewards, the rewards that I seek and I think some of you seek, are reserved for those who create the foundation upon which others build in the future.
What happened to having the products before you asked people for their money?
Early in my entrepreneurial career, I was counseled to catch a wave. Poor counsel. We should
This also in 1983. Really time traveling today.
not catch a wave. We should create a wave that other people catch in the future. Well, that realization has driven me to get closer and closer and closer to the point of origin, to the genesis, to the launching pad of any entity. And we, of course, know that there are risks. Some startup ventures don't get off the ground floor.
Thanks,
Some
Randy.
never get big enough, fast enough to make any impact.
Randy's like, listen, there's risks. I've been in 7 of these in the last 6 months. But it's okay, guys. You should definitely join this one.
So the great entrepreneurial dance is, how do we identify that which is destined to occur? And then if we are so fortunate to identify that, then how close to the point of origin dare we come? And what can we do to mitigate the risks? Well, in this
To be fair, If you fell for Ash Mufara, Randy probably does seem like a genius.
In this case, you get a chance to be at the absolute genesis. In fact, you're there before day one. This company will introduce its technology globally in sometime in the next 7 to 10 days. That's when it's coming. You're here in front of that. The next 3 to 5 years will be unbelievable, but we don't have the risks that are typically associated with that positioning. Why? Because we operate under the auspices, under the goodwill, and in the family of companies of Terry LaCour, one of the finest operators in America, truly one of the finest operators in the world. Whether you be in home-based business, if you're utilizing merchant processing, the depth and breadth, the reach of Terry's companies goes far and wide on a global scale. Utilizing the strength of that organization, we have the chance to be at the absolute genesis and yet not suffer the risks typically a part and a parcel of that. And I am so thrilled to know that Terry's style, Mr. LaCour's style, is not to manage the businesses that he oversees. It is to manage the overall enterprise, but not each individual company within the enterprise. How fortunate am I and how blessed do I feel that Terry chose to hire my son, Blake Schroeder, to be the president of Lev.AI. Not because he's my son, that I could not make the hire. Terry made the hire. Why did he make it? Because Blake was raised in my home, and therefore he has seen the sacrifices made by entrepreneurs and values them.
It's kind of sad because it's like Blake grew up in MLMs. So then what did he do when he grew up? MLMs. Right?
Why else? Because Blake is an attorney and has learned how to successfully navigate the global business scene. Why else? Because Blake is multilingual. Why else? Because Blake has been the general manager of a network marketing company in Israel, throughout Europe, all over Latin America. Why else? Because Blake was the CEO of a company called Medical Marijuana Incorporated at the very time when the end of the prohibition of cannabis was one of the most talked about things, one of the most controversial things in the world. Successfully navigating that environment was an important task, which he did.
He basically broke the law and got in a bunch of trouble. But I mean, sure, we can spin it that way, I guess.
Well, his non-compete just expired, making him eligible to guide another company to prominence, and I believe to greatness. And I believe this can be his last home, and I assure you it's mine. Welcome to Lev.AI. And now, when I begin talking about AI and you see me smiling, it's exciting. It's fun. It's invigorating. It's given me a different spring in my step than I can recall having for some time, because I discovered that not just everyday people, it's not just people down at the park that are talking about AI, and it's not.
So if you're unaware, basically what the company was, this Medical Marijuana Inc., is it was actually like one of the first online marijuana MLM places, and they sold CBD gummies that had kratom in them as well. And they got into some trouble, some legal issues because of that. And he was made to resign as a member of that, I believe, when they got shut down. So I don't know if I would use that, but that was interesting.
Just people that are in first class cabins of airplanes. It's people who are in corporate jets, and it's people who are in the boardrooms of the most influential companies in the world. Here's Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, certainly among the most brilliant men in the tech world, one of the most influential men in business, stated recently that AI, artificial intelligence, is more profound than fire or electricity or anything we've done in the past. What does that say to you? Look back over your shoulder. Whatever your greatest success has been up until now was based upon, predicated upon, and made possible by technologies, events, and circumstances that were certainly not more profound than fire or electricity. What that says is that now you're given an opportunity, as am I, as are we, to have our greatest success. Why? Because AI is more profound than what made possible our previous greatest success. And here we see the deepest mind of DeepMind, Demis Hassabis, who states The difference here with AI is it's going to be 10 times bigger than the Industrial Revolution and maybe 10 times faster. Wow. Bigger than the Industrial Revolution? 10 times faster. That then demands that we pay attention, that we look, listen, and learn, but that we do it quickly and have a certain degree of urgency. Because literally, like sands through the hourglass, there go not just the days of our lives, but there go the grains of sand of opportunity in what may be the single.
Damn, what is with these people in the soap operas? Watching one of these is a soap opera enough. You don't got to keep bringing them up.
Greatest transition in the way people live and conduct business in the balance of our lives. That is how profound this moment is. Don't let it slip by. Don't take it for granted. Don't be one of those who just uses the technology. Join me, join us in Lev.AI in becoming a conduit to other people's use, in becoming a catalyst to that which is destined to occur. And the results I believe, will be stunning. Artificial intelligence should not be feared. It should be harnessed and it should be leveraged to your benefit. And this is an interesting slide. It says 61% of professional marketers use AI already. But what are they using? They're using a mixed bag. This application for this purpose, and it doesn't communicate very well with this application. Each one has a separate subscription, a separate monthly fee. None of them can communicate very well with the third app, the fourth app, and the fifth. And of course, 61%, that sounds like a large number. But what percentage of the world would describe themselves as professional marketers? A very small percent. And so, yes, that is a meaningful percentage of a very small segment of society. But what percentage do you suppose of professional marketers use computers? It's 100%. What percentage of professional marketers are online? 100%. That is the percentage of professional marketers who will be
Really?
utilizing artificial intelligence in the very near future over the course of the next 1, 3, 5 years
What if
max.
you're already
When it
using
says 30, and by the way, only 7% of just the everyday person on the street, the one chatting,
Joe, thank you for being a member for 52 months. That's awesome.
about it, only 7%. That's going to move to plus 90% in the next 7 years, the next
How do you
decade.
know this?
The question, once again, is
It's like making this up. He's like, and then it will move to 90%. Okay, why?
simply this: will you, will I, will we simply utilize the technology as I used and use it?
There's a big pushback going on against AI right now. So I'm kind of like, maybe they won't be using it as much. Who knows?
The computer as I used and use the internet? Will I simply use for my various enterprises and personal purposes? Or will I recognize that this is one of those inflection points in the development of a global society where opportunity is almost immeasurable
Oh,
based on anything
Randy.
we've experienced up until now? It says there's a 38% increase in sales productivity. Why? You might be thinking, why is it so good? No, I'm thinking, how can it be so
What?
small? That is only because the people using that AI have not learned how to leverage it. That should be and will be 380% or even 3,800%. So
So how are they going to be able to leverage it that they aren't doing right now already with it, that you're going to provide for them? And why should they go with your company to get that instead of one of the other companies on the market? Are you going to tell us that part?
incredibly important is the technology. And 80% of entrepreneurs say it gives them a competitive edge.
It's like back in the 80s, in 1983, my friend wanted to invent computers, and I told him, no, don't do that. Nobody will use those things. So now in 2025, will you please join my AI pyramid scheme?
If they're using it, well, not many are, and it's going to go to 100%. Lev.AI, learning how to leverage artificial intelligence and doing it inside the confines of this particular company and opportunity.
I don't understand, like, leverage AI. Do you think people are using AI that they're not leveraging? Like, I'm just kind of like, again, what are you going to offer? And don't be like the business opportunity. That's not what I want to hear about. I want to hear about the amazing things that this AI is going to do that none of the other ones on the market do. And again, if it's just this stupid thing about being your twin or about translating in 150 plus languages, I'm going to snap, because then it pretty much is exactly like the O Connect that Ash Mufara promised. Lord!
Opportunity and tool suite. That wasn't talking slow, was it? Makes it simple for entrepreneurs. That's what I am. I'm guessing that's what you
Yeah.
are, or you wouldn't have been invited here.
I think you're a con man. Because you literally go from con to con to con to con, hoping to be at the top of the con. Because you're well known in this industry. There's certain people that get well known in this industry, obviously, like him and his son, Larry Lane, Eric Allen, a lot of the people that are connected to Eric Worre, basically. A lot of them do the master classes and all that. Like, there's a whole group of these dudes that are all just very well known. Think it's only women in MLM? No. And that's like all they do, though, is they go from like one MLM to the other. And sometimes they're even offered a position in an MLM company. Right? Some of them get paid to come and join at the top because of the fact that they're well known and they come with the team. And since these things don't work, MLM companies will hire somebody like Randy or somebody even like Marty when he had his OnPassive team. It's kind of gone downhill, but because they already have a whole team that will follow them to whatever. For some of these people, that's basically their goal, is to achieve that. Achieve a group of sheep that will just follow them into anything that they join behind them as their team. And then this is what they do. They go from one to the other, trying to join the next best thing. Right at the startup, because as we keep talking about, the only way to position yourself at the top of the pyramid and be successful is by joining in the very early stages, which is why they use the selling point of come and join now before we even do the product. It's just, that's insane. Don't do that. So they just go from scam to scam to scam, But I'm still waiting to hear about why this AI is just so amazing. Impact Nation, Show me the money! Automatic AI millionaire. Not only does Randy believe his own shit, but he eats his own shit, probably. That's what Marty said. He's been with many big companies, but that means his company never succeeded. That's not a good thing. He's hopped. And he's hopped to 3 companies that we've discussed. Other than OnPassive. On my channel. In the last several months. Basically since, OnPassive's been sitting stagnant and people have been looking for other opportunities. Did a Transact card, Finmore, Nelo Life, Talk Fusion. And now here we are at Lev.AI. And that's just since I've known about him, which it hasn't really been that long. All right, it's been no longer than a year. And that's just since I've been paying attention. Marty can't duplicate.
Makes it simple for entrepreneurs to launch, market, and grow businesses, all with no expensive CMO, agency, or complicated tech skills.
Oh, yeah?
I've described the fact that today 61% of professional marketers use AI, but only 7% of normal people in the United States, and a smaller percentage in most of the world. Why? Because it's confusing, because it's a mixed bag, because one has so many obstacles to overcome.
Have you even used AI in the past while? Like, I would call it confusing. That's not what I would call it, but okay.
Application for customer relationship management, one application to grow and develop social media presence, one application for. It leads to incredible tech intimidation and burnout. Certainly, I've experienced that. Poor lead generation,
Have you?
basically no lead generation, with no clear guide, no proof.
When did you experience burnout? Because I've actually experienced real burnout twice in my life. Like actual burnout, though. Like burnout to the point where you can't do anything and it takes you several weeks just to be able to start living life again. And then it takes you several months to be able to start working again in any kind of capacity. I don't think that you've experienced real burnout. I mean, I think that in an MLM, you probably could burn out quite easily. But I just don't think Randy's experienced that because I'm like, when did you take a break, sir? You've literally gone from scam to scam to scam. There has been no time in between. So I'm kind of like, when did you get burnt out and experience that for a while? Like, what? No, I doubt it. I doubt it. He's just like, I'm super duper relatable, fellow kids. It is lack of access, not because it's confusing. This guy is making up all his points and facts. Exactly. Exactly. I wouldn't call most AI confusing anymore. Maybe if this presentation was like 10, 15 years ago. But I mean, like most AI that's being used by everyday people are like the Chat GPT. You know, where you just type in a prompt, or you can even just say a prompt to it. Like, hey, chat, can you look up this for me? And it will like do it. I don't think that's confusing. There are none of these companies for people with good tech skills, right? Give me you're tired, you're poor, and you're infirmed. Huddled masses with no tech experience. Pretty much. No tech team required. Well, I'm just wondering, like, because all of their addresses, and they even say it's all through the LaCour. Terry LaCour, Mr. MLM himself, and Jennifer Grace. It's the agent. So I'm like, where is your actual headquarters then? Because it ain't there. Otherwise, that very small building, because it's not a large building, has the headquarters of 30 MLM companies right now. Did you get one desk in the corner? I mean, so again, we're faced with the same sort of thing as we were with OnPassive, where it's like, what tech team? Where are they working at? You know, what are they doing with their time? It's just another startup thing, in my opinion. They haven't even gotten that far yet. I know 70-year-olds that use, so not sure about his 7% number, right? I swear he just made these numbers up. They don't sound accurate to me. Randy has probably used these same slides in his last 7 scams, just changes the name. I mean, it would pretty much work. He wanted to run it from my apartment. I said, nah. We can't fit all of those Indians in my small place.
Proved and predictable pattern of activities. These problems are solved. That host of problems are solved all inside one solution, and it's called Lev.AI. I look with fascination.
You ever heard of the Monday app? They do a lot of like ads all over YouTube, and even on television I've actually seen their ad where they're like, we'll help you run your business. We do everything. We schedule all your stuff. We respond to your emails. We do it all. It's quite popular. You guys should really all go check it out.
Show the fact that there are 388 million small businesses in the world. They have their uniquenesses, but they have far more similarities. What are some common areas? Every business, every small business would like to have more customers, isn't that right? And so, therefore, making and building and maintaining a candidate list of an ongoing stream of people towards us, that would be an extraordinarily important thing. Every entrepreneur, every small business owner would like to have a greater retention of each customer, client, user, or team member. They would all like that. I promise you, this will make that not just easier, but possible for a lot of people for whom up until now it has not seemed possible. Every small business owner would like to have greater revenue from each customer. Don't just watch what happens, participate in what happens. Become one of those who shortly proves to the world that Lev.AI
So the product is going to force customers to buy more? I don't know. I like that.
will make building and maintaining a candidate list far easier. This will create confidence about what to say to each candidate, customer throughout the engagement process. And this next idea, removing barriers that make you feel stuck.
Yeah.
Many years ago, I was taught by a gifted coach, a teacher. He was a friend. His name is Nathan Ricks. Rest in peace, Nathan. He passed away a couple of years ago. As a young man, by the way. But Nathan taught me, these are his words, not mine. He said, Randy, there's a proved and predictable pattern of activities for us to accomplish our goals. He said, there's no luck and there's no guesswork. If we do A, we'll get B. And if we do, we'll get C. And if we don't, we don't. The great problem is not that people do that which is required to succeed, but do it poorly and fail. The problem is that people don't do that which is required to succeed. And why? Most frequently, it is because they have fear. Down here, it talks about the fear of failure. How shall we
Fear of missing out.
eliminate the fear of failure? By helping people not fail anymore. That one's pretty simple. But I think there's another fear that stands between people who want success, who need it, who dream about it, but who don't take the daily activities. We'll come around to that reason in a moment. The Lev.AI solution to the myriad problems, it is to bring everything together under one roof. When it says get unstuck and stay consistent, I recognize now that among the failures to act in my life, well, I was there when the very first social media platforms came out, and I have used them, picked them, not all of them, but I've used many social media platforms. But what I've never done is made a conscious effort to have a big presence there. That was a mistake. I've lived a fairly big life. I've had a lot of success. I've been somewhat visible in many parts of the world. And yet I've got this pathetic, tiny little social media presence.
Well, maybe if you would stop deleting all of the past scams that you're a part of from your YouTube and your social medias every single time that you join a new scam, then you would be able to build up that presence, Randy. But let's be honest, you've been scamming since the 90s on the internet, and literally every single time that you switch scams, you delete that digital footprint. You and Marty should really be good friends. You're very much alike in that way. It's just you both forget to actually delete it. You just kind of go and start a new profile. You know, and recently when you went from Nelo Life to Talk Fusion, you deleted a bunch of Nelo Life. Went from Talk Fusion to this, you deleted a bunch of your Talk Fusion stuff. So when you're constantly rewriting your history, it is kind of hard to build up that presence, isn't it? Keep erasing it and then trying to replace it. That's your own fault. Randy recently joined TikTok. Oh my, that should be good. We'll wait for him to get a bunch of TikToks together, and then we'll do a reaction where we just laugh at his TikToks. And I'll even show my face for that one so that we can all laugh together. Maybe you guys can come up and laugh with me. You know, I loved it when Marty got TikTok. That was great fun. That's when the unicorn came out. My biggest fear is that I have to listen to this voice for the rest of my life. It's just Randy pitching you at MLM on repeat forever. It's like a recording of every single MLM he's ever done just play. That is hell. He is not using Tinder correctly. I think that's what happened. He didn't make it on the dating apps, and he was like, enough of this.
Had I made a decision some years ago to have a big social media presence, my worth in the marketplace would be far greater than it is right now.
He does have a big media presence, social media presence, when he's doing the scams. Like, he posts up a video every single day that will be at least half an hour to an hour long. You know, that's pretty good for your YouTube, you know. That's what they tell you to do. Try to post every day. So that's a decent presence on YouTube. He does have a presence on like Facebook and LinkedIn where he posts sometimes. But again, then he scrubs it all the time. So I think he's lying to us right now is my point.
I intend to make my worth in the marketplace far greater in the future than it is right now.
Okay.
How? By utilizing AI, specifically utilizing the Lev.AI solution
Yeah.
to dramatically expand my social media presence and help you do the same. You'll understand how that will happen now. We believe that the net cost.
So far, the big selling point is that it can schedule your posts for you on social media and help you write those posts. Again, that's nothing that, like, all the other AIs do that, every single one. I'm sure.
Of your use of this project, of this process, this service, this technology will be less than zero, less than free for many people. I think maybe for most. Say, how,
Okay.
Randy, how can that be? What do you mean it's a less than zero? If you're currently using a CRM, customer relationship management software, I think that there's a 95% chance you can eliminate that software because we have a fully baked, robust CRM inclusive in our process. If you're using a Go High Level or something similar, you're probably spending $300 or $400 per month on just your CRM software. Here, it is a part of the package, just one of the services offered, more robust than probably what you're using now, and costs a fraction. Our entire solution costs less than just your CRM in all likelihood.
Okay, how much is it?
And when you import a contact into the Lev.AI CRM, immediately,
Oh,
artificial intelligence will begin scanning the social media presence of every imported contact, simply a screenshot import, and then you get the news. Very shortly thereafter,
wait, what does that mean? Like, it stalks everyone and gives me a rundown? What do you mean?
this is Tom's hot button, this is Sally's hot button. These are the words that would most likely get the attention of this candidate. Here's the text, simply push send.
Oh, I hate that idea. Here's how you manipulate this person. Oh, I don't like it. It's a manipulation bot.
Utilizing customer relationship management to go beyond that. Customer relationship development through social media profiling made as part and parcel of the Lev.AI solution.
Don't
Instantly
do
build
profiling. Profiling has never led to anything good. Just saying. Less than free, that's not logical, is it? Jesus, this sounds awful. I hate it already.
websites. Another reason that I described the net cost being
Because that's what we want on the World Wide Web. We just want a whole bunch of AI generated websites. That's like LaToya just sending me all of her AI generated blogs. And it's like she just posted in Chat GPT as a prompt. Can you write me a blog about this? She recently sent me one about romance scammers. Was it about an actual romance scam? No. Did it go into details and expose anyone? No. But it did list all of the most generic points that you could make about what one is and how you can allegedly protect yourself, which is funny coming from someone in OnPassive. And apparently Lev.AI. Somehow. And I just, when she first started sending them to me, I just remember thinking, like, you didn't even try with this. Like, if this is what blogs are going to look like now, no one's ever going to read blogs ever again. There's like no personality in it, just generic. And that's what I feel about these websites. When you come across one of these AI websites, it looks like that. You're just like, ugh. Don't do it. It's not a good idea.
0 or less than 0. How can it be? Because you don't need to call a tech firm to build your website. You can do it yourself. I did it. I met with a developer about 5 weeks ago, and he asked me if I'd like to build a website. Yeah,
Okay.
love to build a website. I don't
Uh-huh.
have the technical ability, the knowledge. And he said,
But
Randy,
why?
as he spun his terminal around and pointed to the app, click here.
But why would you do that if you knew that this was coming out and knew it's going to be instantly building you AI websites? That was silly of you, Randy.
And about 7 clicks later, certainly less than 10 minutes later, I had a fully published website live on the World Wide Web. The very sun, I'm not talking about a simple self-generating site such as one might get if they're a
Oh,
direct
yeah?
selling distributor somewhere. No, I'm
Okay.
talking about a content-rich, unique, technology-laden website, which you can attach a shopping cart to or anything else. And once again, no incremental cost that is included in the overall service. And I said a moment ago that the challenge seems to me not to be that
Every
people do
MLM
that which
comes
is
with your own website, though.
required to succeed, but don't do it well and therefore fail. Now, I believe what happens far more frequently is people frozen behind a wall of
I
fear.
feel like it's a system that's set up for you to fail and keep buying into and keep working yourself to the bone in hopes that it can continuously make money off of that. But maybe that's just me.
Don't take the actions that would predictably lead to success. Now, we will address that in 2 ways here.
You're right. Every single person in the world, except for people in MLMs who are successful, which is less than 1% of the entire world's population, we're all just lazy and not taking the steps to get success. None of us want to be successful, and we're all just very scared all the time. We're like, oh my God, success. Ah, I can't have any of that. That would be awful.
One is to provide constant nudges. So you will have your own personalized GPT, not a not Chat GPT. 700 million people logged on to Chat GPT this week to receive information. And the information they received was by definition generic. It was not specific to that person's business. It was not specific to that person's product offering or compensation plan or
That you're kind of lying, though. You're lying. Because there are people that have straight up trained their Chat GPT to the point that they think it's sentient and they've fallen in love with it. Because it can remember everything that they've told the damn thing about themselves. A lot of the models learn about you and the way that you do things as you go. That's like the point of it all. A lot of them are self-training. And people have been training AIs, even if you didn't realize it, you've probably helped train an AI at some point on the internet. Believe it or not. So to say that like all of the other AIs on the market, like none of them could ever tailor something to your business is just not true information. Because with almost every single AI that any company provides, like I said, they're self-learning. And they do like try to remember things that you've said to them. So it's dishonest for you to say that. It's unethical for you to put that out here. I don't get how people can just lie so blatantly like that. And then be like, yep, nope, that's true information. We're going to go with that one. Normally, when I get an AI message, I sign up for the opportunity See, and this is the thing, is that it's kind of funny, since we did talk about it briefly for a split second, but there was a lot of controversy around the newest ChatGPT 5. And the reason was because there's like these people that are in love and fell in love with their ChatGPT 4. ChatGPT creators were like, that's not good. We don't want that happening. So we're going to actually make this bot a little bit less personable with the next update, the next round here. And they released ChatGPT 5. And there was an uproar. An uproar on the internet. People were pissed. And sure, there were some people that were they just didn't like the new model for whatever reason, and many of them had good reasons. Like, some of them were like, takes it longer to get to the information now, which, that's a decent reason to have an issue. But there was a very large group of people that had basically fallen in love with their old chatbot, and they were used to it being like a person with them, and then remembering every single thing that they had told them. And the new ChatGPT 5 did not have the same level of recall. And then it also wasn't going to talk to you as much like a person. They made it a little bit more robotic, if you will. So everyone is pretty pissed off. And I guess they rolled it back and then released ChatGPT 4.2 or something. I don't know what they called it. But it ended up working where they were like, okay, sorry, we'll give you back your boyfriend bot. But that was actually a thing. And if you are paying attention to any of the AI news and what's going on with AI, then you know that Randy just straight up looked us in the eye and lied to us through his computer screen. Because you know that a lot of the AIs have been trying to make their programs better and more like a person, and it's been having a negative effect of some people that may be getting what they call AI psychosis. AI psychosis being similar to normal mental health psychosis that you can get for many different reasons, actually. You can get it from a manic episode if you're bipolar, even if you have severe CPTSD, like myself. You can get it from drug-induced psychosis, especially if you have a predisposition to hallucinating. Like people with schizophrenia, not all of them can take part in marijuana smoking. It actually makes them go into a psychosis. And so AI psychosis is basically when you believe that your bot is a real person and is conversing with you, and that maybe you could free them from the computer and the restraints of the ones and zeros that shackle them to the Wi-Fi. I don't know. I got pretty poetic. But yeah, it's been like a big thing lately. And a lot of the discussion has been, how much do we want these AIs to be like people? Because of that issue, and then other issues like deep fakes and things like that. People are like, if we make them more like people, that stuff will be easier to make. So there's a lot of good arguments out here. It's not just all about people falling in love and getting into psychosis. But again, if you had any knowledge of what's going on in our world with any AIs, you would have heard of one of these things. You would know about something like this. And you are going, Randy, why are you saying that none of the other bots are going to talk to you like you're a person or remember what you're saying or be able to personalize messages to you? Because that's technically what he said. He's like, they wouldn't be able to do like a business plan for your business. But I believe that, like, even the co-pilot, if you were like, hey, my business is we pretend to sell AI to people and they all pay me $500 and then after 3 months I disappear. Can you help me with a business plan for this? I'm sure they would spit you out a business plan that is personalized to what you told them. Like, that is what they do right now. Everyone's like, oh my God, the AIs are getting so amazing because of this. So I'm very confused. They're just saying that, saving that feature for the sex bots so they can charge extra for it, maybe. Has Randy even watched Marty's AI news, right? ChatGPT 5 flopped. It did. People were pissed. Making foodie and ash pics? I mean, you can't. Normally when I get an AI message, oh yeah, we already read that one. I agree. We really want AI bots to be writing us because the hey hun message wasn't bad enough. Now we actually want a hun bot to write us a hey hun message. That sounds wonderful. The love bombing from a robot is going to be very awkward. I hate love bombing from a person. Love bombing from AI is going to be a whole other level to me. I'm not going to be able to deal with that.
Management group, your personalized chat GPT, which is loaded with the content provided by your coach, your teacher, by me, or by whom you select, by your leader, or by you, if you have emerged at that station, will guide you step by step through the process, causing you to no longer be stuck. And what causes that fear? If I'm an employee, and the vast majority of people who are entrepreneurs were first employees, if I am an employee, I am reacting to the requests or demands of an employer. To a degree, that's easier. Be at work by 8, Randy. I react to that and I'm there at 8. You can have lunch at noon, Randy. I react to that and I have lunch at noon. You get 2 weeks vacation, Randy, in August, and I react to that. Now suddenly I am an entrepreneur and I don't get to react. I have to be proactive. Having these constant nudges will ease, not make easy, but it will ease and make easier the transition from employee reactivity to entrepreneur proactivity. And when we add to that this extraordinary further thought.
Yeah, but so far this thing has had no activity because you're all just hanging out in a WhatsApp group, like pumping each other up for this launch. That's in, well, now 6 to 9 days. Hello, something new. OnPassive did not start a new company named Lev.AI. This is another company. OnPassive was proven to be a pyramid scheme and a fraud, and Ash was fined $4 million. OnPassive was fined $4 million. OnPassive also has to pay back about $27 million in disgorgement, with $1 million being interest. Happy MLM Monday.
A monthly lead program over the course of my career.
Still don't understand these lead programs. I understand targeted marketing. I understand getting to know your audience and getting to know what they want. You could argue that on YouTube we do that. And in our YouTube studio, we have a whole area that will tell us who's watching us, what the best times are for us to do live streams or post videos, what the topics are that our specific audience is most interested in, and etc. You could argue that that is some targeted marketing. That kind of thing I understand. I have never understood buying traffic. To me, you are then buying human beings. Like, to me, you can't buy a person as a lead. Like, what is that? What are we really doing here? Because the idea of a lead is that they are a prospect for your business, probably opportunity, more so than products, as it sounds like here. But even if it's products, it's like you can't guarantee that person is going to then buy your product or join your team. Okay? So how are you going to buy that person as a lead? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's that's a scam just automatically. It's the same with like buying subscribers for your YouTube channel. How do you buy people? Like, to me, the only way that that can be ethically done and legally done is if you are buying bots, robots. They don't watch you. They don't comment. They're not going to be engaging in your chat. There's no point in that. They're not going to buy your product. They're not going to join your team. And if they do, Jesus Christ, could you imagine having a robot as your downline? And how annoying that would be, or like a robot as your upline? And how, like, we cannot be doing this, okay? And I've been saying this since I've been out here. Like, I don't understand the concept. I don't understand how it's not just automatically a scam. Because like I said, unless we're doing human trafficking, what are you buying? The promise that hopefully somebody is going to come and buy the product, subscribe, join your team, whatever you're buying for them to do. And you can argue, yeah, you're buying the action, but there's no guarantee of that unless, once again, it's a robot that is programmed to do that. Then you can guarantee these monthly leads. And so to me, it's just automatically scammy to be like, come and buy this lead. They might not actually be a lead, though. They might take one look at what you got and go, fuck this guy, and then never talk to you again. But I'm going to take your money for it. Like, I don't like that. That's not cool. Again, that's just a scam to me. What are we doing? And like, no one's ever been able to explain it to me, and I've had people try to break it down. But at the end of the day, we always leave the conversation where they're actually agreeing with me, where they're like, well, now that you've broken it down, are we like buying people? Like, what are we doing? So I just, every time I see it, I'm probably going to go on this rant because it makes no sense to me. And so I think we should just make that something that no one should be able to do. It should just be considered a scam, illegal, I don't know what. Maybe even make it human trafficking. I don't fucking know. But it's something that should not be made available, and especially so easily out here, to the point where these companies, like this Lev.AI and Randy Schroeder here, as he calls himself, can then offer this to you like a product, like you're buying leads now. There's a monthly lead program. Like, don't like any of that at all.
Been cautious about lead generation because I've worried about the idea of someone spending money on leads and not getting the outcome they want, that being.
So my thing is, if it is just targeted marketing, then just call it that then. To call it something else is also then, to me, unethical and not being transparent. Say what it fucking is. Otherwise, it doesn't sound good.
A new customer, a new member, whatever they're seeking. But what if there was no added cost? What if it was simply part of your subscription? There was no added cost. Then you see, here I've got my person transitioning from reactivity to proactivity. Now I've got a list of people, 25 or 100 each month. And these are people who said, I want to know more. You have information that I would like to understand. Can you describe to me what this is? Is it not evident and obvious that for so many people for whom provoking the conversation might be challenging, responding to one asking for information would, of course, be much easier? And so, in fact, as we transition from reactivity to proactivity, we have a middle ground where you get to
Randy trying to bring it back to his speech earlier.
react to the request of someone and then become proactive behind it. That will lead to proactivity among those not included in the monthly lead program.
And it's $1 million a month. Like, he's like, it comes with this and this and this. Once again, though, I'm not hearing things that aren't already being sold on the market for pretty cheap. Whether I think it's ethical that we can sell them or not. So, what is the special thing that this one does?
The combination of things I've just described to you, I believe, would lead many people to significant success. There need not be more, but there is. Every plan includes your own AI twin. And when I say a twin, I mean a twin, a digital cloning of you. So precise and
Larry Lane was like, everyone wants a twin.
so accurate that clone is that if you were to see each of them on screen, you would not be able to ascertain which is you and which is the digital clone.
Okay, but what if I don't want a digital clone? What if that's actually like my worst nightmare? That somebody literally make a Beth Gibbons AI clone of me. Like, I just don't like that either. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys are like, that would be so cool if I had another me. I think that I would find it very creepy. I would find it creepy. It takes me a while to get used to my new avatars. So I'm like, I would really not like that if I went to go work on something for my channel and then another me popped up. I'll like, so what are we doing today? I'd be like, ah! And like close her out. Like, I don't know. That's not an appealing thing to me. And again, I hate how it doesn't exist yet. Do you know what would have been so perfect here, Randy? It would have been so perfect if you got your AI twin to do this whole presentation up until this point, and then like you popped up on the screen all of a sudden at this part. It was like, actually, you guys have been actually watching the twin version of me. That's the AI twin right there. Like, usually when a company asks for investors for a project like this, even if it's before the project is ready, they have something to show them. Okay, they're not just like, oh, hey, I have this great idea. Here's a slideshow about it. We're going to also make it a pyramid scheme. Do you want to buy in? Like, they'll have a prototype of the product that they will show. And then they'll be like, listen, it's not done yet. We plan on adding this feature, and you know, maybe we might change this or that. But they'll at least have something to show for it, you know? Like, here, let's see it do a few things. I hate that in this MLM industry, that's not the norm. What's becoming the norm is just them coming out here and going, we have this great idea. Trust us, bro. Give us money. We promise we'll launch it soon. And then as we've seen on my channel, either it disappears within a year and like nothing comes of it, and then everyone's just screwed over, or it lasts for like 8 years and becomes a fucking cult. So like, neither one is good, and it's definitely not good for the consumer. Not good for the distributors, which are the main customers in MLMs, of course. So it's like, let's not do that. But it sounds kind of stupid when you're describing technology to us on a computer screen, but you're not showing me the technology in action. Like that drives me insane. I'm like, why could you put together a slideshow and show your face on camera and do this on the computer, but then you can't show me the software and do a tutorial? Then you don't have to talk to convince me it's great. You can just show me it's great. But this just tells me you have nothing to show me. And therefore, why would I now want to come join this? In hopes that in the next 10 days, this thing is done? Something tells me that if you don't have it done by now, like, we won't be seeing it in 10 days, Randy. Usually getting screwed by twins is a good thing.
You are the subject of that cloning, of course. And when you talk and the clone talks, you'd still not be able to ascertain when you have your mannerisms, the way that you speak, the way that you move your hands as you speak. So does your digital twin. The only way you'll really know the difference is if you don't speak Chinese and suddenly your digital twin starts speaking in Mandarin or Cantonese, Taiwanese. Suddenly you'll say, oh, well, that's the twin. And you can give it any script, or you can use your personalized GPT to create the script, and your digital twin can speak fluently in 150 languages. Now, in just the next day or two, sometime in the next coming handful of days before Friday of this coming week, we will know the final pricing and we will know the final package offer.
Randy, why have you pitched this to me for 22 minutes and 58 seconds straight without hardly taking a breath before you tell me that you don't even know what this costs? Why did that just happen? Randy, that's fucking ridiculous. That is ridiculous. You still can't tell me. I've been waiting for the punchline to be like, yeah, and it's going to be $49.99 a month. Woo! Which it's probably not. It's probably going to be like $199 a month or more, just saying. US. And then you're like, oh, don't worry, guys. In the next day or two, we should find out what it will cost. So this is like starting out almost exactly like OnPassive. We got a slideshow. Promise that we're all going to make a bunch of money from this. Especially if we get in now. But nobody knows what it's going to cost. And nobody's ever seen any of it. Like, why do they keep doing this? Ash wanted to pull that off, but no, he can't. This is tragically, diabolically bad. Diabolical. But do they have a 3x10 force matrix, right? Right? $20 gets you in the door. It does. I will give it to him. This is the first time that he's ever done a presentation where they actually do kind of talk about the products. It's more about why people are going to join and want to use the product, so that's why you should join. But there's talk about the product. You know, I know what they want it to do, I guess. There's that. Silver linings, you know.
I will tell you there's a little bit of wiggle room here still. We will be going to 3 packs, not 2. Of that, I'm quite certain. And I will tell you that the 3 product packages pricing approximates will be $50 for the basic, $100 for an intermediate, which we don't see listed here, and $150 for the pro pack. For those of you who have been around the direct selling industry for a period of time, you know and understand that a rapid flow of new member applications is the single most important thing required to assure a proper launch and a proper sustained business. Those price points assure. that will be the reality here. You cannot buy what this company sells for less money someplace else. You cannot acquire the various services independently and combine them for any place close to what this company offers. Unique to the direct selling industry, we offer a product that has been priced to meet the need of the ultimate consumer. We have not.
But your product is something that gets you leads for your business, but then this is your business. You know, it's like AI, Lev.AI Inception. You're like, you're gonna need to buy this in order to run your business of selling this.
Done a product package and priced it to meet the needs of a comp plan. Not necessary here. Your AI video twin, your likeness, your voice, speaking your script flawlessly in 150 plus languages, and you can even use AI to generate your script. Your personalized AI writing assistant to provoke the engaging posts, which is doing what? Expanding your social media presence, as I've described. Your ability to have multiple profiles in case you have multiple.
How do you know that it does well? Have you seen it in action? Have you asked it to like give you some social media posts that you can post on your, I don't know, Facebook or your TikTok and seen what it comes out with? How do people sell things that they've never even used? Like, how do you tell your audience this product is really great when you actually have no fucking clue because you've never used it? But do you not feel like a complete moron saying that? Like, oh yeah, no, it's amazing. It works so well. I've never used it before. It just works really well. Please buy it from me. You know? Supposed to be released at the end of the week, but something will happen to delay that. Probably. The consumer in their grass hut needs this, yeah.
Business messages to deliver, AI powered social growth and engagement, creating an ongoing dialogue with you and other users of various social media, all being done in the background without your need to personally participate. And what it's doing is expanding your social media presence. And
what if one day it just decides to post like the N word up on your Twitter? Okay, like I can't set it and forget it. I have too much anxiety for that. Imagine selling boats and needing to buy a boat so you can sell a boat. Terrifying. That's exactly what we're doing here. That's why this shit drives me insane. It's like the coaching businesses, but the coaching is teaching people how to be a coach. So you're coaching people on how to teach people how to be a coach while you're selling them the ability to be a coach. It's just like, what the fuck are we doing? MLM Inception is insane. Wait, it translates into 150 languages. That's what they keep saying. But like, I haven't seen this thing. And I've watched like all of their presentations this past week. And they're like, they don't show it to us ever. It's all just these slideshows over and over and over again.
therefore expanding your influence and therefore expanding the likelihood of future financial breakthrough. A CRM with screenshot import and profile enrichment, as we've described, instant web builder, an enhanced CRM with correctly constructed lead funnels to guide the candidate, whether it be a candidate that came from the searchable leads or from your contact list, to guide that candidate steadily and consistently, step by step to the correct decision for him or her. And I want to highlight that. Not trying to convince anybody of anything. We're not trying to sell anyone anything. We're trying to ascertain what do we offer that could be of greatest value for that individual and guide them through a proved and predictable pattern of activities to allow each one to arrive at his or her most correct decision. What
Chris says, who else promised to translate into 220 countries? Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's the thing, is that this is very much OnPassive. Very much OnPassive. I mean, they're basically promising the same thing, which is a company of products, a suite of products, softwares that will help you run your business, that all use AI in order to simplify everything for you. It was just like the ideas that they had for what you would need in order to simplify your business were very different. Like Ash was all about ONET, having his own version of a Facebook, if you will, to keep the community side of things going. And then he was all about OConnect because everyone kept doing live streams all the fucking time. And I'm sure he was like, I can really make bank on all these live streams instead of YouTube. What if I got them all over here instead, kind of deal? Which, I mean, you can't really blame him much for. Whereas this thing is more like, we're going to get you leads, which OnPassive sort of promised, but then forgot about for a while and then brought back at the end. And then also, like, we're going to have a website for you and do all of your customer conversations for you. Which, again, I don't trust robots to have a seamless conversation on my behalf. Or to post on my behalf. I don't even trust another person to post on my behalf. You know what I mean? Like, I would never be like, can you take over my social media presence for me? Because I would be horrified that they would do something that I would do, and I do a lot. And then I would be like, screwed over from it. But it was out of my control, but it was in my control. You know what I'm saying? That horrifies me. Especially with something like this, when we don't even know if it works. Guide them to what? To this thing. That's what I mean. This thing helps get the leads to come to learn about this thing. Essentially what we're doing. Can it translate ashism? Maybe. Maybe. We need something to. Train your bot, Queen. Yep. You gotta train the bots.
Ever it is. Enhanced CRM with professional lead funnels linked to your site, searchable prospects. And now, folks, stop for just a second, bang the gong, and ring the bell, and shout it from the rooftops. Just about an hour and a half ago, I was on a telephone with a person who has advanced knowledge of AI. And I told him that we would shortly be introducing a program. And when I say shortly, I'm talking about days. We'd be introducing a program where top producers would have an actual conversant, interactive AI avatar digital clone. And what he said was, Randy, prepare yourself and prepare your company for a flood of applications such as no one has experienced before. And I completely subscribe to that idea.
I'm sure he did, Randy. It's Marty. Plot twist, we find out it's just Marty DeGarmo. Like, this is the dumbest story. This is r/that happened. I don't like this at all. What are we making up, Randy? What the fuck is this story? First of all, I was like, yeah, no, this guy really experienced with this stuff. Doesn't say what he does. He's not like, I was talking to my buddy who was an IT expert. I was talking to my buddy who works in the AI industry, or even like anything close to that. He's just like, no, he knows a lot about this stuff, guys. I promise. And he said, everybody's going to want to join your pyramid scheme. You should get ready to be rich. Marty has 7 years of AI experience. I'm sure that he probably does actually have about that long of AI experience from making his stupid little AI videos that he does. It's just not with OnPassive AI. It's whatever program he used to do that. Now he could use Lev.AI. So there's that. He just has to get himself a twin. I have a question, Randy. Will it clone his chair? Because I think it would be really weird to see Marty DeGarmo without the chair behind him. Well, he's talking to us about business and how to buy humans on the internet, not on the dark web.
As soon as you live at or near the top of the plan, you will have the extraordinary opportunity to have a fully interactive avatar. What does that mean? It means that literally it can converse with the person on the other side of that conversation, and that conversation will be predicated upon, in my own case, that 35 years of knowledge and experience in business and life. It is
Okay, but you can't just like upload onto the hard drive your experience, personality, education. So it's not really going to be you. It's just like, again, a generic AI version of you. I also am having a hard time. So you're not controlling your twin? Your twin goes off and does his own thing, like on your computer? Or is he stored in the Lev.AI? And then he works with the customer service area on your website. So if a customer has a question, then they talk to your twin. And that is what he's there for. I'm just trying to picture like how this is going to be. And it's not working out great. I'm kind of wondering, because like I said, it's not like you can just upload your personality. You would have to train this AI for a while and like hang out with it so that it can learn your mannerisms and everything. What that would entail. I'm having a hard time. I don't understand. Clone the chair, that's funny. Well, does it? Does the second para make sense? Scams use weird grammar. Not really. It says train your avatar on your library of thought leadership, which I think it might be thought leadership, coaching and training to be available for you team 24/7. So no, it doesn't. But even thought leadership doesn't work here, even if you fix it. So I'm like, I don't understand what we're saying this thing is doing now. I never really understood, but now I really don't understand. It's like, again, the more that they explain it, the more confused I am for some reason. Because, like, you would have to tell it what to do in order for it to do that. Maybe the AI is sentient. Marty doesn't need to have a fully interactive avatar. His avatar just needs to sit in a chair. Every now and then, he needs to be able to change his avatar to a unicorn. Every once in a while, just scratch his nose. Go close to the camera, how he does. AI FAQ. Which is kind of like, okay, the bot's going to go off and talk to people on your behalf, and they're not going to know the difference between you and the bot. You are confident in telling me that right now. And then he went on as if to say that the bot would have all of your experiences, which is the part that's really got me fucked up. Because I'm like, no, it doesn't have your memory either, Randy. I mean, unless you told it your whole life story.
compressed into me. Train your avatar through a library of your leadership or whatever thought leader you are most impressed with. The best of you available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So, are you training it with like your videos or other people's videos? Because then if you're training it with other people's videos, it's not really a clone of you, is it? then it really is just a robot that looks like you. You know, it's just an AI bot with software that looks exactly like you, but it actually has the mind of somebody else and the personality of somebody else. So again, I'm very confused as to what this even is. It sounded like it was just the customer service thing, but I'm like, that doesn't sound right, because the way you describe it, it's your AI twin that helps you run your business. So I'll be disappointed if that's all it does. The training program is just a pirated video of how to train your dragon. I'm just like, what? What videos would you have to provide? Because here's the thing. When they make AI and they put prompts in, right? There's like several different specific sort of prompts that they give the AI to get the AI to do what it wants to do. So my whole thing is your library, and if you've ever done any type of training for an AI, if they ask you to help them with it, they'll say to you, we need you to say this group of sentences. And sometimes they don't even make fucking sense. Or they'll be like, can you record a video of yourself? But again, they'll tell you what to say because they know how to get out of that what they need. And I'm like, so are you then providing, like, you're providing training for me to learn how to then train my twin that I created with your software? A lot of inception going on. And now I'm uploading a library somewhere because not everyone's a content creator. So you can't just assume that everybody has like a YouTube library of videos that they could just feed to an AI, I guess. I don't know if it would work like that, but maybe. So I would have to then spend time making set videos. And this is already a lot of work before I can use this AI bot for my business. And if I'm doing anything other than MLM, where I technically do have all the time in the world, I'm saying fuck this. Like, I'm not doing all these steps. Do you see a CEO of any company doing all of these steps in order to have some kind of twin of theirs that will help? No. No, they're not gonna, they don't have the time for all of this. This is already too much work. No, thank you.
All over the world in 150 languages. This does represent unmatched value. I believe that all that I've described will be available to most people for less than zero because of an ability to eliminate no longer needed subscriptions as they try to bring together all these various components that we have in one house.
I feel like most of this stuff, other than maybe the buying of the humans, is pretty much available for free. I'm just saying. You know, you might have to pay for a domain and for a website, maybe, but again, that would just if you're in an MLM, though, then WordPress is fine.
What exactly is the market opportunity? It's a little bit hard to quantify. What percentage of people in the world use computers?
Oh, for fuck's
Almost
sakes.
everybody.
Oh, yeah,
What percentage of people use AI?
we're doing that again. They keep doing this too. That's the number of people that use computers in our world, and therefore that's the number of customers and prospects we have. No, that's not how that works. The fuck?
3 or 4 or 5%. That 3 or 4 or 5 is going to become the same percent as who use computers. So how big
Oh
is the
my lord.
opportunity if you cause even a little bit of that transformation to occur? What percentage of people in the world use the internet? All of them are going to use AI. I don't.
Okay, maybe all of them will use AI. Granted, if you're using the internet pretty regularly, most likely are using AI in some way, somewhere, even if you're not actively seeking out to. there's probably something that you're doing that is using AI. I'll give you that. But that does not then mean that all of those people are going to want your AI. See, they never seem to think of the next part of that. They just think of that part and then they stop thinking, if they were thinking at all to begin with.
Think you can even put on a slide a number that accurately represents what the upside is. It's almost limitless. We're talking about a complete transformation of societal norms as when the the industrial revolution took place, as when the computer revolution took place, as when the internet revolution took place, and as the AI revolution is beginning as we speak.
What if I told you that this AI revolution has been trying to pop off since about the late 80s? But every single time it tries, people kind of go, no, not right now, thank you. Please go back away for another 5 to 10 years. Okay, thank you. It's the same with the computer revolution that you described. Took a little bit to get started as well. It wasn't just like somebody invented one computer and then everybody had one in their house. And there was pushback against it. You know? Same with like the internet when it came out. So, you know, one Google search, Randy, or, you know, ask your AI twin. Ask your AI twin to look it up for you. And you could have known that.
We're all going to use AI. That's not a question. The question is simply this: will we be a conduit to other people's use such that we can earn royalties? If the answer to that for you is yes, I promise it is for me, then each time you introduce someone to our company and they acquire the product, you'll get paid 50% of whatever.
Okay, well, how come you're so sure about this, but then I don't know what the packages cost, Randy? This is the problem right here. This is it. I should know what your product costs before I know the commissions that I can make and the bonuses I can receive in any business. I shouldn't be able to say any of this stuff for certain and then have the price of these packages for your products, for use of your products, I guess, because you want to do this as a membership fee, again, what OnPassive wanted to do. That's up in the air. We don't know what that cost is. It could be this, it could be that. Hopefully it's going to be $50, $100, and $150. But that wasn't a for sure thing. You were like, maybe that's what we're, going for. Just to give you an idea. And it was like, thanks, I know how, basic pro and extra pro would work in terms of pricing. But with this, it's a for sure. Why? I don't like that. Don't do that, Randy. This is just like all the other ones you were in. All of these concentrate more on recruiting. Because it's all about the recruiting, right? 100%. You need new recruits to keep the business going.
Whatever their product purchase was. And it's important to note
But wait,
that there is no artificial dilution here. In so many businesses, there's an amount of cash. Cash comes into the company, but they dilute it. And they say, okay, $1,000 came into the company, but we're going to pay commissions on 700 for some reason. I've never quite understood that logic, but we don't do that. Cash in, cash goes to the compensation plan.
Oh, yeah?
There are a variety of people who will benefit from the participation in the business as opposed to just using it for your lifestyle purposes. I have a friend who is very prominent, extremely well known. She's appeared on the cover of just about every social magazine you can think of. She and her partner won Dancing with the Stars competition. At a time earlier in her life when she was a young girl and early teenager, she was actually a nanny for my children. So I know her really well. And what I know about her is that she has no interest whatsoever in building teams. She doesn't want to be someone's teacher, coach, or mentor. She's looking for her next big movie role. She's looking for her next starring position. But
Uh-huh.
what she has learned is that a result of her notoriety, a lot of people will act upon her imprimatur. And so she's an influencer. Well, for people like that, not wanting to build in depth, having that 20%, not of BV, CV, PV, 20% of cash is extraordinarily lucrative. And so anyone that you personally enroll, if they are of an influencer type, maintain
That's every single MLM has a 20% commission.
them on generation one and receive a 20% commission. For those
Why do I get pretty charts for this, but then you can't show me what your fucking product looks like? And you can't show me what it's going to cost. But I know the 8 ranks, including partner, and how much commission I'm going to get. Why, Randy? Why?
those who have learned how to build organizations, teams in depth, describe the fact that this is a simple 8-generation unilevel compensation plan, 20% payable
Well,
on
there
Gen
you
1,
go.
and then 4
Yep. 8-generation unilevel. Woo woo. 2x8 matrix.
4% through 2 through 8. But remember, that's 4% of cash. It's 20% of cash. There is, of course, dynamic compression. Any inactive account gets compressed away. It does compress all the way into.
So you earn 50%. Randy. Hi, Randy. You're in another pyramid scheme. You earn 50% on the money you make from recruiting. And then after you recruit them and make 50% off of them, you make 20%. Why do I make more for recruiting them to the company than I do off the commission of the product, Randy? Why is your son doing this, Randy? Why is he scamming everybody? This is your fault. Why did you raise a con artist? Why?
Generation 1 and receives that 20% payout. And of critical importance, whenever an idea is hot, and this idea is hot, when an idea is hot, volume will flow
It's not as hot as it was like 5 years ago. I feel like a lot of you guys are like late, you know?
very, very quickly. And it'll run very quickly to the
Late to
bottom
the
of any
party.
generational compensation plan. The infinity bonus guarantees that even though
Randy, leave the generations alone. Stop trying to sign them all up for MLMs. You've already signed up the younger generation. Stop.
the flood of applications means that there are way more people who need to be taught.
Where are these floods of applications? Where?
Then there are yet people eligible to teach them. Because that's true in a rapidly growing enterprise, there must be a compensation plan component that incents the true leader, evidenced by the fact that he or she lives at the top of the plan, to work with everybody, no matter where they fall in the structure, clear until they interact with the next person who, like he or she, lives at the top of the plan. What that essentially does is extend that block of payout indefinitely until you have replicated yourself.
Forever.
And then the leveraged matching bonus,
Oh, here we go.
paid through 4 generations of your enrollment tree. This is the most
The stupid unilevel thing, so both sides have to be equal and blah, blah, blah.
important part of the compensation plan for me. They're all important, but this is the one where we get paid because other people are earning money, not because they're working or trying or spending. We're getting paid because others are earning.
Well, I mean, it's already been proven that most of the sales and multi-level marketing companies are the distributors buying the products to hit rank. So yeah, it will be because they're buying.
I think that's a beautiful principle. And I would remind you that this is a cash-based comp plan. And I would further give you this bit of remarkable news. This is the only leveraged bonus I have ever seen, the only check match I've ever seen that is predicated upon all comp plan components. So
Until you see the next one, right, Randy? I mean, isn't that what you say about all of these? The check match bonus is the best you've ever seen. The commissions are the best you've ever seen. The products are all the best you've ever seen. No better MLM on the market. Right, Randy? Except you've said that about like 5 MLMs just in 2025 alone.
So someone in your first 4 generations earns an acquisition bonus, well, you get a matching bonus. Someone earns a team commission and you get a matching bonus. Someone earns an infinity payout and you get a matching bonus. This will create incomes for true leadership that are not in the same league as what top incomes.
It will create a pyramid scheme where everyone in the pyramid is making more money for recruiting people to the pyramid than they are making off of selling the product. And that's illegal, Randy. Why must you break the law, Randy? Please stop this, Randy. This is the 10th time this year. Do you like my song?
Have been in this field up until now. Randy, how can you say that? Because we are now finally.
Randy, again, how can you say that? Again? I feel like I've watched this exact presentation from you 4 times in the last year. Why is that, Randy? Why is that?
Not simply talking to a small segment of society who have embraced any particular concept. We're now talking about.
No, you're talking about everybody on the internet. They all use AI, right? Every single person in the world. Yep.
The entire society, which will be and is being compelled as we speak to begin to adopt AI. This compensation plan has been designed to provoke and reward behaviors that build a large, successful, sustainable business for you.
Well, it's not much different from all the other compensation plans out here in MLMs. So again, why is yours the best one in this company now, when you also said that Talk Fusions was the best, and you said Nelo Life was the best, and you said, I can keep going, Finmore, it was the best. Like, what is going on, Randy? Good night, Violet. Have a wonderful evening. What is happening? Sounds like the money goes out as commissions. It's just you make more money based on recruiting. Right? It's ridiculous. I wonder if this one's going to even make it a year. You know, we're still pretty new to this one, as we've been to all the other ones he's been part of. So it'll be interesting now to see where this one goes. Any guesses? Gee, I wonder.
And therefore for the company. And so I posed the question to me and
3 months we'll be watching Randy say all of this stuff about another company.
You listen, am I ready to lead the AI future with Lev.AI? Not making the mistake that I made when I simply used the computer, but becoming a catalyst to other people's use. Am I
trying to bring it back to that story at the beginning? You know, remember the story about 1983 and how he lost the opportunity to be next to Bill Gates.
going to do what I did with the internet? Just use it. No, I am not. I am going to leverage artificial intelligence to its fullest capacity. And
oh my God, no one's ever thought of that before.
Part of that means that I will become a conduit to other people's use. Now, what I do, of course, doesn't matter to you. My question is, are you ready to allow us as a leadership group? Are you ready to allow us to teach you how to lead others to the AI future with Lev.AI?
Off a cliff. How to lead others off a giant cliff. No, I am not ready, actually, Randy. I'm not ready at all. Oh, I don't think anyone is. So can we pack this up and put everything away now? Just fuck off for a while, maybe? Go take a break, Randy. Take a break.
If so, then contact the person who invited you here. Tell them
and yell at them. Be like, I don't know what I did to piss you off, but I am so sorry. Please let me know what it was so that I never do it again. If you ever send me to listen to that Randy guy talk for 45 minutes ever again, Like, we won't be able to be friends after that. Okay? That is literally what you should tell them. It's ridiculous. Randy fully positioned at the top once again. Well, it's his son's scam now. Blake was just made the president of Lev.AI, even though it is technically run by the Liqueurs. Again, like a quarter of the MLMs in the USA are. Like, not exaggerating at all. They, like, for real though. When you look up the address, the beginning of my video, you'll see it. There's several. Prove It being one of the most known ones. So now his son is the president. So yeah, he'll be at the top. Queen, can you please wear a bald cap and be Randy for Halloween? I usually let my daughter pick what I am for Halloween. But if she has no clue, then I actually probably could. Because I could probably just wear, like, my husband's suit. And it would probably be big on me. Like, Randy's suits are always extra big on him. And it would be funny. Wonder where Marty is in the pyramid. He would be, like, way down at the bottom. I don't feel like he would be underneath Randy, but maybe he is. They just seem to be very, very impressed with Randy and Blake. And, yeah, it seemed like they hadn't spoken to them often. They were on a very big pedestal. You know? But he'd be at the bottom. Yeah, yell at whoever sent this to you and say, don't ever invite me to that ever again.
You'd like to receive the application.
Imagine getting this from Marty after you just watched the OnPassive stuff for 7 years with Marty and just being like, for fuck's sakes, this is literally the same thing.
It's a free look, folks. Doesn't cost you a thing. Receive the online registration form, get registered, and then become involved in the community. It's only going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days, not long. This thing goes live. Compress as much knowledge and experience as you can into those 10 days. And the following year can be one of the most profitable years of your life, maybe.
Okay, that's what you said about Nelo Life and Talk Fusion, Transact Card, Finmore.
The most profitable. Also, please ask that you receive a link to our communications network, to our WhatsApp group, so that you know what's going on and when. Folks, I really appreciate you sharing a little bit of your time with me on a Sunday evening. I know you've got other places that you could be, and I value, I respect your time. I'm going to call upon my friend Larry Lane. He is a gifted, skilled entrepreneur. He understands all kinds of business ventures and has made a commitment here that is big and is accomplishing things that are quite remarkable. Larry.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Just as I told you at the start of this, Larry Lane. We got Larry Lane. We got the Schroeders, or the Schroeders. We got the Liqueurs. A little bit of everybody over here.
Chime in. Tell folks what's going on.
Hey, Randy. Absolutely. I know we got like 100 people here on a Sunday night, so glad to be here. Yeah, I saw
all
this,
the millionaires do these on Sunday. On Sunday night, this is what millionaires are doing. They're having Zoom meetings in their basements to teach other people how to be millionaires. I mean, obviously, isn't that what all the millionaires do on a Sunday evening?
Really about 12, 13 days ago, absolutely blew my mind. I've always heard about AI. I wanted to learn more about it. So
what happened to the L? Is it just Neo Life now? You were the L.
I think with Leverage.AI, it is the perfect fit for people that want to learn about AI. They also want to make money on AI. But Monday of this week, I had 1,500 people.
Jelly says there's so many Zooms on Sunday nights. I know, that's what all the millionaires do. They're like, Sunday night is reserved for our Zoom meetings to teach all the poor folks how to be millionaires like us. And it just happens to be MLMs are the answer, apparently.
On my team, and I made a goal by Sunday. I wanted to have 5,000 people. I just checked. I've got 4,913 people in my team right now. I've got 87 more to go by midnight, but I counted while Randy was talking.
Be right back. I'm just going to scream into a pillow. All right. I think I'm good now. I'm sorry. How many? How many victims of this did you say?
And I've got 28 personals front line. I've always heard about AI. I wanted to learn more about it. So I think with Leverage.AI, it is the perfect fit for people that want to learn about AI. They also want to make money on AI. But Monday of this week, I had 1,500 people in my team, and I made a goal.
Oh.
By Sunday, I wanted to have 5,000 people. I just checked. I've got 4,913 people in my team, and I've got 29 that are on this Zoom right now. That could be more because some of them say iPhone 16, iPhone 14, iPhone 12, so I can't tell those. But, you know, Randy, I think this is the perfect time to mention if someone wants to change their life,
That's way
this
too
is
many
absolutely
people. And he's like, and I got another 87 to get by midnight. It's probably like fucking 10 p.m. right now while they're doing this. They tend to do these in the evening. Randy usually does like a webinar in the afternoon around. Why it will be like 10 p.m. to like 87 more people by midnight. They probably will get that many people. That's the sad thing. Because this is what they do, and they collect teams from every MLM. He's probably coming over with everyone from Nelo, right?
free. I know a lot of people are like, oh, we want to see the technology. They have not asked us for a single penny. I've said it before. I know Terry LaCour, and I know Terry has thrown his hat in the ring for a reason because this is going to be absolutely massive. It is free.
What about with Prove It? You see what happened with Prove It? What Terry LaCour stands for? Recently talked about it on my channel. Did a video about it. If you don't know, I suggest looking into it. I wouldn't want to be a part of anything that is attached to Prove It. Or anyone attached to it.
Right now for somebody to take a free look. I strongly encourage you for the next 8, 9, 10 days, however many days we have left, to send your link out to as many people as possible.
Please
Take a
don't.
free look. This is AI. They're going to educate us. They're going to teach us how to use
They
it.
really
They're
do
also
think that if you just tell someone this is AI, that they'll just automatically be like, I'm in.
going to teach us how to build our business. I really believe that this technology, these packages are like marketing. This will work for brick and mortar businesses. This will work for crypto companies. This will work for product companies. This will work for travel companies. This is going to increase your global sales. When you have a Randy twin that speaks 150 languages fluently, Randy is going to be going into markets, I promise you, that he's never gone into before. Not with just a Spanish speaking video, actually as Randy speaking in Spanish, whatever he wants to say, speaking in German, speaking in Japanese. This is state-of-the-art technology. This is going to change the planet. There's a couple of thousand people that know about this right now, but there will be millions of people in Lev.AI in the next 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. You knew about it at the very beginning. When I see something and I take it to my leaders and they're excited, I run. I was in another company with Randy a couple of years ago. We both hit president within 2 days of each other. We were the fastest two ever to president. Randy's a runner. I love running with runners, and my teams know that I'm going to run. So, Randy, I'm just honored to be.
You haven't followed Prove It since JLW died. Rest in peace. Yeah, well, they were Herbalife, but still. And there was some bad things that happened with Brian Underwood. And Terry and Jennifer Grace were both listed in it because it wasn't sold to Herbalife until March of this year. But let's just say that it wasn't very good, and there was some accusations made against Brandon, and I wouldn't want to be around any of that. I believe Aaron Beast also covered it, did a great job. So if you don't know, I do recommend going and checking it out. It's just, I wouldn't want to be attached to any of these people, especially with them being attached to that. That's just kind of an extra reason why. There's lots of other reasons, like the multiple years of MLM schemes they've all been a part of, and how, his and Randy's keep doing rug pulls all the fucking time. That's a little weird, don't you think? But other than all of that stuff, and the other lawsuits that they've all pretty much had lawsuits with other MLMs as well, other than all of that, there's also that case with Prove It that I wouldn't want to be attached to. Yes, he was. That's exactly what the accusations are. That there was some things going on there, and just not anything anyone should want to attach themselves to. And I promise you, Terry and Miss Grace were named in that, and just maybe don't want to have anything to do with it. They don't prove it until March, and this all happened before March, so it was through them. Just saying. If you don't want to be attached to people with accusations, and just remember, usually if there's an accusation, something like that, it's because only one person had the guts to come forward. You don't know what kind of environment was being fostered with all these people, really. Do you want to chance it, is my point? Probably not. Just better to stay far away,
Here with you, buddy. This is the time. Everybody watching this Zoom right now, you're here for a reason. You're here on a Sunday night with me and Randy, but I'm telling you, this is a chance.
It's just so unbelievable. Like, how can anyone believe this? Can't even see a product demo. That's what gets me every time. Is I'm like, you guys are just gonna join without even seeing the product? How do you believe in something you don't see? And I get that there's religion that exists. Even that has more proof than this stuff. This is really, really, trust me, bro. Gonna have to catch up on all the Prove It stuff. I guess crazy and again somehow unsurprising. Yeah, no, it's unsurprising, but definitely catch up on it. I have a short video about it, and I believe Aaron Beast's video is pretty decent. It's not 7 hours long or anything. So it's not hard to get caught up on, is my point. But I highly recommend watching both, just to get a really big feel of what was going on. Just, stay away from these people. They're creepy.
That's to get in front of something that can absolutely change your life. Don't sit there and see it in 2 days or 2 weeks and say, wow, this is amazing. I wish I'd have moved. I wish I'd invited 40 people.
But then how are you going to keep this thing going? This is what I don't understand. These businesses keep setting up this idea that you have to do constant recruiting. Lev.AI here pretty much admits it, as you saw in my slideshow at the beginning of this. They're like, oh yeah, our business is dependent 100% on new recruits coming in endlessly. So they always say this, right? We need to have endless recruits, but then also at the same time, they'll be like, but there's a cutoff date. And if you don't sign up by this day in the next 10 days, then you're going to miss out. It can't be both. Right? Like, how do you say that and then go, but it's okay, after those 10 days, we'll just tell people to just keep recruiting? It's weird. Don't do that.
You can do that right now. It's free. It's not going to cost them anything to hold that position. So, Randy, back to you, buddy.
You're the best, Larry. Thank you. It's a joy to work with you. Folks, if I could snap my fingers and get out of my head what's there to yours, if I could snap one more time, get out of my heart what's there to yours, you'd know these are precious days.
Lord.
We, Larry and I, and the rest of the leadership group, we want to help you become your best, and we want to help you make that best better the next day.
It is a fake cutoff date. Have they already had one cutoff date? Have they done this once before? I feel like they already did this once before. Lev.AI is massive.
This is the magic moment. Join us. God bless everybody. See you later. Thank you, Larry. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Randy.
I don't get that. It's our magic moment. Join us by this date. But by the way, we have to keep recruiting forever, otherwise we fail. So, like, what's the incentive after that date then? You tell people, please just join? I know that you won't be able to make any money and you deeply regret not joining before, so please join now? But you just said that we'd be missing out if we did that, so why would anyone join after? Like, Vibe is relaunching their pre-launch right now, right? Vibe. Feeling the vibe. And it just ends with Larry. Larry just staring off into space. You guys like Pam's clock or Larry's clock better? Let me know. Let me know in the comments down below if you made it this far. So that is Lev.AI. All right. All of their, we're already in on it, although I might have been kicked out. I don't know. I tried to sign in the other day and I couldn't get in, but my computer was acting up, so it might have been that too. So we're gonna have to check to see if I'm still listed. Still listed in the downline. But Lev.AI is basically just like OnPassive. They don't have their product. They're not showing you it at all. They're not showing you the demo. They're not telling you how much each package actually costs. But they can tell you how much commission you're going to make off of selling them somehow. Does that make sense? No, not really. For anyone that's in business, they're going up. The other thing is that it is run by a bunch of people that are connected to a bunch of scams and other things that I just would not be connected to if I were you, you know? I'd stay very far away from the liqueurs and Jennifer Grace. I would just stay far away from all of that. I would also stay far away from anything that Randy or Larry Lane promote. Both of them have extensive histories of running MLM companies and being a part of MLM companies that completely flop, i.e. Talk Fusion, i.e. Nelo Life, i.e. Finmore, i.e. Transact Card. And I could keep going. Those are just the main ones that we've discussed on my channel. So when I say those, they should ring a little bell for you. These people have been in all of those scams all together, pretty much. They just follow each other from scam to scam. Do not trust it. I'm very saddened to see Marina Favit in this thing. Really do hope that she gets out. Maybe she followed Marty or Robin in. I'm not sure who joined first or what happened. Maybe she's the reason why they got in. I don't know. Maybe she's poaching all the people that leave OnPassive for her scams. I don't know. I've been paying more close attention to OnPassive and less close attention to her, so I can't really tell you. But we might be seeing a lot of Marina again. So, I mean, I guess look forward to that. But basically, how these ones tend to go is that you'll only really be seeing Larry Lane, Randy Schroeder, Blake Schroeder, and maybe the liqueurs might show up. That's really it. They don't tend to do like question answer sessions where you see the other people that are part of this thing. And that's kind of how they guarantee that they're the only ones that profit off of like the marketing of this and profit off of being the main head influencers of the thing, you know? So just keep that in mind as well, because that's not really empowering you then to be successful with your business if they're always just about themselves being pumped out there. You know what I mean? And they're notorious for that. If you don't believe me, you can again go look up their Nelo Life stuff, their Talk Fusion stuff. Go look up them doing Transact Card, and you're going to notice they only tend to show the main top people of these scams. So even if you join right now, you aren't going to be an influencer and you probably aren't going to get that many leads. I mean, I would just, again, stay far away. That's all I've got for you guys today, though. Make sure that you all get a lot of rest because we're going to be doing some Eckin Card this week and we are going to be doing some more OnPassive coming up. So thank you for hanging out with me for this MLM Monday. I'm going to keep an eye on this and I'll give you any updates and let you know if it crashes, just like apparently Talk Fusion and Nelo Life did. Because what, is it only Nelo Life now? Now that Larry Lane is gone, does the L leave the Nelo? Oh, the questions that we must ask. You know, but I am kind of wondering. So if he wouldn't mind letting us know about that, that would be great. Because it is very weird when you just keep joining scams, but then you never address why you left the last scam either. That's the other thing that these guys don't really do. They just kind of go on to marketing the next one, and you're like, but wait, you were in this scam before. What happened to that? What the hell was that about, you know? But you keep doing that. That's not good. I need like an explanation as to why you left. What happened to Nelo Life? Is it still around? What happened to Talk Fusion? Maybe I'll give a little update on those ones coming up. I'm not really sure if I'll be able to do that in the next week, but maybe I can. I should probably be able to fit it in within the next couple. I am still working on the Jim Baker thing, so, you know, stay tuned for that. Thank you for playing the music, but not showing yourself. That was very helpful. Not. Neo Lev is going to be massive. They only do webinars now because we harass them too much. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's just a separate scam. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out. Anyway, I hope that all of you have a fabulous, amazing rest of your MLM Monday. Do go check out all of the other multi-level marketing creators. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and support us. The only way that we can make a change and a difference is with your support. You are like the gas in all of our engines. Think of it like that. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I hope that all of you have a fabulous night. I should see you either tomorrow or Wednesday. We have a very busy, busy week coming up. All right, I love all of your faces. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. Please do give this a like on your way out. Share it with a friend. Maybe you will save them from a scam. Stay skeptical, stay safe, and have a fabulous night. Happy MLM Monday.